afternoon, friends. This is Sunil More, President IESA. I will be moderating this session and I welcome you all for this 10th part of IESA's ongoing webinars on various topics as you might have seen. Today's topic is very interesting in the sense that we are going to learn and probably understand a new technology, which is a buzzword today at the situation which we are facing due to COVID. Uh, this is when we are all at home and looking at new and innovative ways to reach out to our current clients for some business. We today have Mr. Viral Shah, Chief Technology Evangelist and co-founder Mint Labs.
Hello.
Mint Labs is a company which would provide some insight on how the world is moving on to virtual events and a few options which all of us could explore to propose to our clients. A very intriguing information on Mint Labs, as Viral has shared. Mint Lab is one of the very unique company who does not have a website. Is not existing on Twitter, does not promote its own business on Facebook or YouTube. So it's a different type of company which is very interesting to learn from Viral how they are carrying out their businesses. Their work has found quite a number of clients, and there are some very prestigious clients with them like JSW, Accenture, Bayer, Colgate, Bisleri, Mahindra, Google, Amazon, and many others. So it must be a good technology which they are offering, which all we can learn, try to learn to see how we can do better in the business in the time to come. I present to you Mr. Viral.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time here. Yeah. So, little bad on internet connection here. Sorry, in case I'm not audible. So yeah, we're from Mint Labs, and all we do is interact and help engage people via your storytelling abilities. So I call each one of you as storytellers because you enable your clients to convey a message, and that is how we can be of support in terms of technology. So Mint Labs is pretty a new company, I would say a very young company that we are into. But having a background of event management, I have been able to reach out to more event managers in the fraternity and build trust and gain newer clients. So I would say these are not my clients. I would say these are our client's client that way. So these are a few of the names that we could put across to you guys. Haven't taken permissions from them. So is why I say that you all are storytellers, because you need to find.
Sir, your voice is not audible. Viral sir, your voice is not audible.
Connection, is it?
Hold. He is facing some problem with the connection. So he will be back 2 minutes.
Yeah, audible now, Asif?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it's audible now. Yeah.
Check. Perfect, perfect. Sorry, it's a little Zoom error here in terms of internet lag lagging. I'll try and still continue. So here what you see in front of you, you've got a Marazzo car, and through a tablet and augmented reality solution, you can move the tablet around the car.
On the first slide.
Sure. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, Mintra is pretty much a young company that I was talking about, wherein we try and engage with people, engage with clients, and despite being a young company and having an experience into event management, this is where we have been able to meet up with newer event management companies and partner with them for their projects. So I say these are my clientele's clients that way. So these are not my clients, so to say, because we only across the globe that way. We call event managers as storytellers, since they enable people and their clients to convey an effective message, and we contribute via the technology to convey that aspect more effectively. That's where we believe that technique is more important to convey a message and the technology part of it as well. This solution was done this year at Auto Expo 2020, wherein you can see a Marazzo car in front of you. There is an Android tablet. Now the Android tablet maps the car completely and shows the car security safety framework. You can move around the car to see the aspects of it. Similarly, we can help you enable to convey a more effective message to your clients and the products as well. Another version or a better version of what we saw right now is currently the car that is being here. An iPad is being used, and the contents could be kept on changing in terms of the wheel alloys, the car color, all of that. So here you see in front of you, the car has appeared on the tablet. As you move on close to the wheels, you can keep on changing the content on your tablet. So those all things could be done via augmented reality. And again, this is not a marker-based solution. There are a lot of types of augmented reality that people use up to. Yeah, the car color keeps on changing via button press. The LED behind is a live LED. So that also could be worked upon. We could offer you a unique photo op solution as well. Again, all of these could be thought upon in the framework of a lockdown and so on that way, where a person is in a photograph multiple times. So story needs to be conveyed effectively, is our belief. So in terms of offerings that you could take up to your clients, you could have photo booths, AR, virtual reality, multiple technology like app development, gesture-based content could come into play. So all of these multiple areas where we could focus upon. I believe the life cycle of a technology is this, wherein it gets introduced, people learn to adopt, it reaches a maturity level, and until someone or something that is more robust than what is existing, then this thing sees a decline and eventually leads to a death. So for example, in 1970, we had a GPS-based solution that came into existence. Until 1990, it did not find its way out. In 2004, when Qualcomm released the GPS-enabled mobile devices, that's when it reached its peak. Similarly, we had a VHS solution. From the VHS, we moved on to a DVD, then a Blu-ray, and now OTT platforms. So this way, from events or virtual events rather, we could keep moving and evolving within virtual events itself. People used to have video calling as solutions, call it a virtual meeting. Then they moved on to Zoom platform, which is famous right now, which all evolved to webinars and then social media streaming. So all of these could be somewhere categorized as a virtual event solution for a lot of different areas. Yeah. So like I mentioned, until something new comes in, the previous one exists. And once the newer one is more strong and more robust, that is when that thing takes over. So in a nutshell, what is a virtual event? A virtual event is a very basic one-liner talk in terms of people gathering together in an environment, and they use their computers and internet to connect with each other. So people could say Zoom is also a kind of virtual event. So long as it does not give an experience of being on an event, it may not be called an event. It's debatable that way. There are various aspects to a virtual event, wherein people can interact on the web, they can interact via a software. You can have multiple sessions in a virtual event. There could be different rooms assigned. The virtual event can be very interactive and look alike like a physical counterpart as well. So it could be as relative to a real event as a virtual event. So why to do virtual events? In a lockdown, being an event manager, all you and me, so to say, understand is let's do events. A virtual event will enable people to connect with each other. That's what you and me as event managers keep doing always. So since live streaming is on the rise, we have virtual campaigns people are picking up. The marketeers are getting more serious on, attendees are focusing on the content or not. I mean, that was not a thing when we had real events. In a real event, 500 capacity hai, 500 log aa gaye, my job is done. Whereas in a virtual event, people tend to ask questions on how do I ensure that people are listening to me? Was that the case in a real event? So that's again a debatable question that we can look at. People tend to require hyper personalization in terms of mera branding X location pe chahiye, background aisa hona chahiye. So whatever people need to understand is possible, can be done, will be done. But some things that look difficult need to understand or communicate to the client. Whatever is not possible, they need to understand on those aspects as well. So which is where we could come into play and support you with the options in the market available. Types of virtual event could also include, online seminars, some conferences, to webinars, to virtual meetups, to concerts. So the list is endless. I mean, whatever you could do in a real event could be done in a virtual event as well. That way. Yeah. So a webinar solution. People these days tend to use different softwares in a webinar solution. So for some people it works, for some it does not. Like currently, if Zoom has a problem of security that's being raised upon globally, we could look at an alternative, something what is shown on my screen right now, wherein people do not need any software. The presenter and the attendee could just open a browser, log into a page, which could be customized completely, and come onto a webinar platform. So even if people have questions, the webinar platform that they are using these days has the option only for a chat module, whereas the current one that I'm showing on screen has an option for attendees to interact via chat, via audio, and via video as well. So questions could be asked relatively to make it look more interactive. So this is where the solution should be strong enough to overpower other solutions. And subject to the needs, it could be debatable again. So features could also include, recording the content, streaming it across, bringing in different feeds. All of it are a part of a webinar solution, which again come under a category of virtual event. So it was again a different rationale that people follow for virtual events versus webinar versus webcast. All was different. The interactivity is where defines a webcast versus the webinar, and all those things can happen. So this is what we had done for Nestle as a client last week, wherein a person was placed in a virtual environment, and the content were on the side screens, were changing real time basis his talk. So this is what enables the audience to get a feel of attending an event and seeing it from a common perspective. So this is what we did. Again, do not restrict yourself for the entire event to be on a single set. You could have multiple sets in a single environment as well, or you could change from set design to set design in a virtual event live. So this was telecast live on Facebook, and we had content changing on the sides as well. Apart from that, we could move on to from presenter 1 to presenter 2 in an environment. It's pretty seamless. Also, from this person, we can move on to a single person talking to a panel discussion mode. So all of it happened on a single event. So again, all of this could be worked upon depending on your requirements, and we could have multiple solutions that we could look at for a Facebook live session, for a webinar session, all of those options. The next option that I would recommend, the 3D platform. You create your avatar, you enter an event arena, people can interact with each other live. You could do a product showcase there. You could, why do an event in a banquet when you can do it on the moon? So that could also be worked upon that way. You could have team building exercises there, where people could, play amongst themselves as teams, reach a particular flag, be running into the environment. All of it happening live. You could conduct virtual trainings in the environment. Again, you could have shops that could showcase product showcase to you. This could be, given to your clients like a year-long contract. So these things could be worked upon like virtual events. Live concerts, that's the best part. Characters can dance. These things are available. So it is not as a far-fetched idea right now. You can have exhibition booths there. You can do stalls, showcase all of that. No problem. So all of it, again, for the category of virtual events, depending on the requirements, on the client understanding and all the products that we can look at. So there are a few of the options that, we could explore together in an environment. Look at these things from a different perspective and immerse yourself in the environment, so to say. So you could have education things happening there. You could have a venue showcase happening there. A tourism industry could definitely benefit from it. Here you can showcase 3D property or real estate. So you could go completely creative on all those lines. I hope my video is visible to everybody. Just curious. Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's good.
Super. Thank you. So there are a few things that we can explore on a 3D virtual platform. So apart from that, what could you or your clients do in a virtual event when you come on site or on a platform to conduct activities? For example, you could showcase the product in 3D. That could be one of the ways to make it look mega, make it look wow on a browser-based platform. So this is one of the solutions that we could explore, wherein it comes to an option where people come to a website, they log into an interface or defined audience, security is the parameter, and the product is revealed to your audience. You could otherwise also explore a website, a web AR, so to say, wherein these days you must have seen when Google launches like animals on a browser-based platform. So all of this again could be done for the audience. You could have a different kind of a GIF booth or a different kind of a mosaic wall wherein the photographs get made onto a wall-based thing. Yeah. You could also move on to digital games. Now these games could be varying drastically. Like for a client, we had done an event wherein there were 3,500 people concurrently on a website, and we were triggering the questions from the back end. So when we trigger the question, the audience gets the question instantly on the devices. So this is what enables them not to look at Google as an option, search the answer and type it across. So while people conduct quizzes in terms of ready-made platforms and 20% at a glance, we could recommend an option where a trigger-based solution could be given to your clients. So this was what would help, get instant answers, instant feedback, instant collection. The audience has to just stay on one page. It's that straightforward. And the contents are controlled from the backend, which are appearing on the devices. So for the same thing, we had done a project wherein the logo launch or logo reveal was done on a browser for people who could not attend the event without them doing anything. So that's also could be, possible, could be done, have done. So yeah, I mean, guys, over to you for questions. I tried wrapping up quick. So, sir, any?
Yes.
You want to look at? Yes.
Well, friends, those who wish to raise any question can enter it into the chat box. I have one question which is there from Sandeep Dhaka. If you have to organize a virtual exhibition, then what will be the necessary parameters in terms of equipment, software, content for exhibits? What will be security standards for exhibitors, product technologies?
Okay, so Sandeep, there is definitely a software available which you could look at for exhibition. The security standards that we have are GDPR compliant. That's the highest standard of European security standards that we can look at. The content for the stalls, we recommend that you use existing stall designs that we have. Also, in case you want your stall designs, could be done incorporated. And okay, let me just confirm with the team. Is Asif Monisa here?
Mona is
Asif?
there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Mona, do we have a standby for the app? We could show a demo to them right away.
Yes, I do
On
have.
standby? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, sir, give me a moment. And if you could, once my team says a go ahead, we could show people a demo of the application, wherein, how does the exhibition look like in a virtual environment? We could do a demo outright. So,
Okay, go ahead.
sure. Mona Lisa, you ready? Let me know.
Yes, I am ready.
All right. Could we share a screen, please?
Yes, I'll share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, is the screen visible?
Not yet. Yeah. So
Okay.
here we have Mona Lisa from my team along with Twani, Simran. These are all team members who are in the environment from their different homes. And this is the exhibition area. So you have got a stall called DuPont example in this case. So Mona, just walk over to front of the screen. So when you go to front of the screen, she controls the screen content individually, wherein she changes the content which is visible only to her as a person. So here, when she changes slides, these slides are only visible to her, and somebody else could be using the same screen to look at a different slide content in the environment. So all of it is happening on the fly. Here, you could also have static content along with video content. The person on the left-hand side with the orange jacket is the assistant, which is virtual. If you click on it, you get a question on your screen, and that could answer a basic FAQ kind of questions. So there's a question there, click on the question, you get an answer. It's pretty much straightforward, pretty much basic in nature, so for the ease of the audience to understand. I'll quickly go to the next stall. So this was statics content that we had. We'll show you one more option wherein the video content could be played on the same screen, and the audio in the environment is very proximal. By proximal, I mean if you are close to a person around you, the audio could be heard. The moment you move away from the person, the audio is no longer heard. So the video playing in front of her right now. The moment she keeps walking back from the screen, the audio keeps diminishing itself. So that's still possible eventually. So want to take a look around to show the audience the options available for stall designs that are there. Just turn, yeah. Thank you. So in this case, we could have stall owners with their names on top, after the heads, along with the company name below. So people could interact with the stall owners live in the environment. And that's what could enable maybe deal conversions, maybe talks that could happen, go to a separate room altogether to discuss an offhand meeting. So all of it could happen in the virtual environment live. Each one could choose their own defined characters and take it forward from there. Yeah. So, sir, over to you.
Yeah. So shall we take the next question?
Sure, sir.
From Rahul Bhatnagar. Would be interesting to know which softwares are used for virtual events.
Oh, there are a lot of different softwares available. I mean, the options could vary depending on your client needs and the product options available. So a lot of people have, a small character, a huge character, depending on the options in terms of office space requirement, in terms of event requirement. What would you want to showcase? The kind of screens you want to explore, the environment, the arenas that you have ready that you could look at. So these things are multiple in nature. And we could discuss it offhand to get you an idea on what options are available.
Sure. I hope Rahul, you have answered to the question. Can I go to the next one, Rishabh? When will you show us? Well, this is shown already, the virtual event or exhibition or anything. This has already been done. Kindly share the question. Okay. What is the ballpark cost indicators?
Yeah, so that's what I tend to get from event managers in terms of kitna kharcha. So that's what the client genuinely asks. What is the expense for it? The cost largely varies depending on what platform you use, what features you would want, how many presenters, how many hours of the event, how many days of the event. So it's not ki ek din agar example cost is 6 lakh rupees, the next day it could go up to 6 into 2 lakhs, 12 lakh rupees. It's not that. We need to work on a cumulative number wherein the agency also benefits, the client also benefits, and thoda bahut hum bhi kama lenge, matlab that way. So yeah, so that's what we could explore in terms of options wherein to define a software, to define your need, to define your audience numbers, define a parameter that is required to be shown on screen, define the kind of number of days that are there, kind of solution that you seek. So a lot of things vary for a basic, conference and cost understanding purpose.
So your indication is what is the base or something you want to say?
So, sir, like in an event, you have an event basis like a park and a stage and all of that. Here, all the things remain common, but if you say a ballpark cost, it would be close to 6 lakh rupees for a single room, so to say, like an amphitheater for 200 people.
Okay.
So there are multiple things that need to define here. 200 people, 250 people is the max capacity per room, and 2000 in an environment. The platform that we recommend here. There are other platforms also available which offer more numbers in place, and to look at what kind of option that you are looking at. The one I showed you right now had these kind of parameters in place, wherein 250 audience per room and 2000 per environment. If you look at different softwares, they will offer you different solutions. And if you look at a browser-based solution, you may not be able to interact that way like you saw right now. So you need to define all the parameters, fix a software to come to a conclusive cost. Okay,
thank you. That at least that gives us a starting point. Yes, I hope Rajiv got the answer. Now Rishabh was saying the presentation was all about what can be done, but I am more interested how it can be done. I think it will require maybe a training session for telling how it has to be done. The idea of
I mean, Rishabh, you could just give us a call and we could show you how it can be done. We've been doing it across a lot of agencies. We've got 3 events lined up next week. We're doing, so definitely can look at it. No problem. Sure.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, Rishabh.
Yeah. I'm saying, please share your contact in the chat box so that I can contact you.
We'll do it. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do it. No problem.
Thank you.
Sure.
Now, Mr. Seema Shastri ji is saying which is the file, which is the software and cost. Same question.
It's the same thing, yes, sir.
Basically, we have just inform. If you are thinking anything less than 6 lakhs, cost idea is also discussed. What is the necessary bandwidth for virtual events?
Sorry, I lost you, sir. Sorry, I could not get that.
Sorry. Yana, are informed? What is the necessary event bandwidth? What is the necessary event bandwidth for virtual?
Okay, so these events generally require a continuous bandwidth more than a high bandwidth. 2 Mbps is what we recommend minimum, so to say. But it's like a 3G connection. And again, I would go back to the previous statement, which application you choose defines the bandwidth. For example, the one that we showed has the capability to save the venue data onto your device's cache memory, which means for the first time to load, if it took 30 seconds to load, the second time it'll take 5 seconds to load because the data is already in your cache memory. So what streaming, what kind of content is being viewed will define the bandwidth parameters. But 2 Mbps is what we recommend minimum for a project like this per person.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Dinesh Kumarji. How much would it cost for a virtual conference of 100 people from 10 different locations with audio and video exchange?
Okay, so audio and video exchange for the event defines it more to be like a webinar conference or a meetup solution that way. So we need to define on what all you want to do in an event. If it is just information exchange, I mean, Google Hangout is also an option available, which is a no cost option. But if you do an event, what all parameters do you look at? Do you look at a poll? Do you look at an option for a staging option? Do you look at something where you can exchange awards, reward, trophies, for example? You want to play back video content. So a lot of parameters need to be defined that way before you come to a conclusion on how do you want to take the event forward and what are all involved as elements in the event.
Okay, Dinesh Kumarji, you got some answer. Can we go to Ms. Santanuji from Dara Projects? Real event and virtual event are same look-alike. Means we can use the exhibitor on web. We can see the exhibitor on web.
Okay, there are two again options available. Wherein if an exhibitor has to be seen, he can be seen via his webcam view. So that could either be a live stream of a content where he can interact with people. But again, for that, he needs to be in the environment as well. So if you look at a webinar-based platform, that's already happening. If you look at a virtual event-based platform, which we just showed you like a 3D option, there you could have the stall owner having rights to share his webcam so that whatever is not in his presentation can be shown via webcam, like a broad display of sorts, or more understanding that way. So information can be exchanged via a webcam of a presenter. The audience can interact via audio or chat module. If the audience has to interact via video as well, that means looking at more of a webinar option compared to a one-based communication that way for a virtual event.
There is a question from Venkatji. He has two questions. Is it viable to compare with our traditional expos, and how will we get the revenues out of it, and exhibitor need to all times in every expos? What I think what he means is how exhibitor will get.
Yeah, it means exhibitor every time it has to be make into the 3D, or only one time it can be. That can be. He participated in over the year. He may participated in 6 expos. All the times he has to do that 3D rendering, or it's only one time. Is it okay for him? How is it like?
So if the stall design remains the same, there is no re-rendering required as such. That's point one. Point two, when you look at expos, you have multiple stalls that are there. So if you look at a common expo amongst multiple clientele or multiple brands, would they be interested to have it for entire year? That's again another question to look at. If the brands are changing, that means content is changing. So rendering for the user would involve some bit of bandwidth. and from a brand stand perspective, they could come back to a common area to define how many individuals are simultaneously logging in, how many are repetitive, how many are new, and how long do they want it. So all these parameters need to be understood first before we come back to an option K possible again. Possible, yes, can be done, no problem.
Okay, and one more question: is it viable compared to our regular exhibitions? I mean, traditional expos.
How do you define the term viable? Is it like a cost perspective?
Yes,
Is it more like a
cost perspective.
So cost perspective, again, I would leave the client to be the best judge at that, because their audience needs to be in a phase where they could install a software, attend the virtual event, and then the client could get a better ROI out of it. If you look at a perspective where the event is created, but the audience is unable to attend due to whatever issues that they may have, then there is no ROI in that.
Okay.
So
And
sort of thing need to be figured out first before we come to conclusion on that point. Yeah.
yeah, and one more question, sir. Is it we have to be as organizer or we are a facilitator?
Sorry, organizer or?
Our role is an we are a organizer or we are platform providers.
So you become like a organizer to begin with, because we do not get out direct clients, so to say. So you would still be required, still be involved in every aspect, every talk of it, while you can go ahead and sell it to your clients as the regular expo. It's just being conducted on different platforms, so to say.
And our regular exhibitions, it may date, it will always announce 3 days, 4 days, or 2 days. But when it comes to, it can be 360 days also. It can be make it online.
Yes, can be done. No problem.
Thank you.
So nothing takes away the experience of a real on-ground experience, so to say. But having a virtual expo is always advisable in terms of having it a year-long contract. No problem.
So we had to become an organizer in that case.
Yes. Or you could have your client stall that way.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Viral, how will
Sorry, you're on mute, sir.
Yeah. How much a 103 square meter stall, 9 square meter stall cost? See, we will do the 3D rendering and all that. We want just the platform cost. What will be the platform cost?
Sir, it is not a direct pick and play drag and drop option. The parameters involved here are the 3D stall has to be low poly model. We can import a 3ds file format into a system that I showed you right now.
Okay.
Also, it is not based on the size of the stall alone. It is also based on how many people would attend, how many days did it go on to, how many presenters would be there. Is it like just one stall that is there? Okay, hold on. Mona is still there?
Yeah.
Mona?
Yes,
can we show the
sir.
product showroom to them, please?
Sure.
Okay, so sir, I'll show you a product showroom that you're mentioning right now. My understanding is you would want for a single clientele only and not multiple brands, correct?
No. We want multiple clients for, let's say, 100 stalls of 9 square meters.
Okay,
it's a hall.
100 stalls of... Sorry, go on, sir.
It's a 100 stall area of 9 square meters. So you can give us a ballpark figure where we will send you the 3ds files. Okay, either can we do it or you will not allow us to do it to handle the platform?
As of now, my understanding, we cannot do it. Reason being, we need to evaluate the timelines in place, the date of the event, the backend integrations of CMS, the kind of people who need to be on the platform and need to learn how to execute a solution.
So roughly,
that is
what would be the cost then? Roughly.
Sir, cannot say right now. We need to work it out.
See, these are the gray areas. No, this is what we are here for.
Correct. So we could discuss it offhand.
We all know how Virtual Expo runs. Okay, we have various platforms from abroad as well as India, and how the platform can be used and so on and so forth. But what we are looking here, my colleagues are also looking. Everybody is talking about the price part. So, why is it number of attendees? It will be different. Why is it so? How are you?
So when we define a particular event, sir, you would define the cost basis your stage elements, set, sound, light, video, venue.
No, we are
all of that was able to bring. For here-
we are not talking about a conference or a R&R event or a corporate
Correct.
launch. We are talking about a basic vanilla exhibition. It's a 9
Yes.
square meter stall.
Can I come in, Mr. Shastri? I think you can take it one-on-one. Because
Okay.
it will
Yes.
take long time because I have another 38.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir. Right. Not a problem.
So I think we will be sharing his number and email.
No problem, sir. Thank you so much.
The question which you are asking, I think will take a lot of time.
Right.
They are quite interesting, but will take a lot of time.
No
Yeah,
problem,
please,
Moreji.
please,
Thank
please.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ji. So can I take the next one from Ms. Sehgal sir?
Sure, sir.
Although virtual events are taking place nowadays, I think that these may not be able to replace physical. So this is a comment which is made.
That's a very true thing. I agree to that.
Yeah.
No debates on that. Yeah.
So, and then Venkat we have already taken. Then can exhibitor can exhibitor directly interact with visitors via voice?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How do you see the business transaction in virtual events vis-a-vis physical events?
So there are two opportunities here. First is you could have meetings being done there in the virtual event arena and close deals there. And you could also have an integration of an e-commerce platform via showcasing your product and just click on it to buy a product. That's still possible here as well. It's eventually a browser-based solution as well that could work upon.
The next question is from Pratik. Pratik ji is saying, how long does it take to have 3D space to host an event?
So, okay, very interesting question. So currently we've got some kind of option that are readily available that we could directly explore in 2 weeks or 3 weeks of timeline. In case you want to create something new, we need to again discuss together on what all needs to be understood or developed and designed. For example, you would not want a person to walk through the steps. You would want him to walk on the steps. So all these fine details need to be understood before we come to on timelines. But for ready-made venue that we have, like an amphitheater, like a product showroom, and like an exhibition area, 2 to 3 weeks is a good enough time to execute the entire event.
Thank you, Viral. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rohit ji is asking, was the demo that you showed was browser-based or app-based?
It was an app-based solution, sir.
Okay, thank you. Shastri साहब ने अभी discuss कर लिया था. We will come back. Which one you are using? Then thanks, Mr. Viral, for information. Thank you, Mahil, for your comment. How long does it take to have 3D space to host an event? Again, the same question. Just now you answered it. What is the time frame you require to do a setup of exhibition of 50 stalls?
Okay, so 50 stalls need to be understood first. I would recommend we discuss these things offhand so that we can show you what is available to answer specific questions. Only reason behind this is 250 people per room. If we have 50 stalls, how many people from the stall owners per room? That means how many attendees are left to attend the session. So would you want to cater to it that way? Or would you want to break it up in terms of 10 stalls, 5 stalls, 15 stalls that way? So we could discuss these fine details, specific things offhand to get you concrete answers and instant answers.
So for all the people, what I understood is that in a physical exhibition, we have the set stalls there, maybe 50 as Santosh is saying, but the number of visitors can be any, which is not the case in a scenario which you are explaining, that we will have total number of people which will be both from the exhibitors people and the visitors. And that number
Yes.
is the cap which we need to discuss when we negotiate with you.
Yes.
I hope I have explained it. Right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sushant ji keh rahe hain, what is the requisite internet bandwidth? You have already answered this. I think 2 Mbps was what you mentioned. Right?
Yes, sir.
How many days to plan such an event? How many days to plan such an event is a question from Rajiv.
How many days to plan an event? Again, what are elements in an event? If it's a single room event, like I mentioned, 2 to 3 weeks is good enough a time. If there are multiple rooms, for example, you would want a product showroom area, an amphitheater, a meeting room separately, how many people together, how many presentation screens you would want, the number of presentations that you would want to upload on a server. All of these things will take time to, back and forth have adjustment done. So with just one room, one screen, one presenter, assumption for now, will take 2 to 3 weeks. Having said that, does not mean that 2 presenters will take 6 weeks. The second presenter just need that kind of tweaking or addition as an input into the system. It's that straightforward.
Okay, thank you. Some 3D spaces I see in demos and videos appear to be of low graphic resolution compared to others. Why?
Yes, so that is very observing of you, honestly. This is the case because this platform supports MacBook, Windows, Android phones, and iPhones. So it is compatible across devices. We need to ensure low bandwidth consumption, and hence we need to have low poly models incorporated. A lot of people have come to us earlier and said, can we incorporate high poly models? We do not recommend, and we would not do it further. That would lead to app crashing on your device, since the GPU, CPU parameters would come into play. Hence it's low poly.
Then the question is what? Marshmallow performed live in Fortnite and million people joined the concert. Can we see something like this?
You could expect something if you can crack a deal, sir. Can do. That's possible to be done. Like I showed the video of a concert being there. A concert here, no problem. And the characters could dance.
Okay.
That's already existent, no problem.
Then Sandeep ji is asking how visitors will take part in a virtual exhibition. Do they have to create an account for accessing the information from exhibitors, or it will be done by any web link?
Sorry, who artists mean this, right?
Sorry?
The performers, right? Performers.
No, he says visitors. Say in an exhibition.
Visitors, yes, yes. So they would need to create an account for the particular parameter. These accounts could be created by us from the backend. So process could be, you could have a browsing web page, who could, people register over there. In case of paid event, you take payments from them. You give us the list of email IDs that need to be a part of the event. We could make the login details. Login credit would be made by us, and that could be given to them via email again. That email could have login credentials, the link to the software, and a small video for them to understand what to anticipate or expect in the event. So it becomes convenient for them. And we recommend people to come to the event, whenever they would want to, if it's ready.
Okay. So the next question is time frame to plan such an event. You have already answered. Can we experience any demo through a link to have first-hand experience, which you have shown? Is this a type of event lively as traditional events?
Nothing can replace a traditional event, honestly, in my opinion. A traditional event still stands as great as it could be. A virtual event could be made better. See, considering the COVID-19 situation that's happened right now, people were still evolving and exploring options that they could look at. Before they could be, developed, so to say, they have been pushed onto each one of us and you separately as well. So these things are not that evolved in terms of output, graphic quality, options available, the enhancement that we could look at or expect, because we as event managers have been doing wow events, so to say, anticipations and exhibitions as well. So exhibitions and expos or events, so to say, will be a little down as of now until the platforms, exponentially grow or evolve for use.
Okay, Poonamji's question is, can you show us a video where you have conducted a virtual expo online successfully in the past? I think you will have to take it one-on-one, perhaps. Because Poonamji, we will not have time to do this here. Maybe you can contact him later to see what best can be seen. Pankajji is saying, how can we experience the touch feeling in the virtual expo like Garment Expo or other expo?
Difficult to do, sir, honestly. It's a very valid, very fair question to ask. but it is very difficult to touch, feel a product since you'll be using it from a laptop or mobile device. So it's not that we could expect.
That is the unique,
Completely I'm with him on this.
unique. That is the uniqueness of the physical expo as
Yes.
compared to this. But with the limitations what we have, perhaps
Yes.
we'll have to live with the virtual. Maybe not. It may not happen for garment, but maybe for engineering it could be possible where you don't require a touch. Sukhwinder ji asking how much lead time you would need to prepare a complete platform for virtual exhibition for 60 participants and say for 2 days event.
Again, sir, 50 participants, 2-day event, 3 weeks is good enough. But again, back to same question: how many rooms? What are parameters involved? How many presenters? Do we train the presenters or no? So the same loop that we could look at. But we could discuss often, no problem. Can be done.
Okay, Sukhwinder ji will give you the email ID and the phone number.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, we are looking for that, sir.
हाँ sir, Viral ji से आप one-on-one कर लीजिए.
I think that will be wonderful, Viral. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Krishan ji has 4 questions. Can you provide web link from where we can start registration for virtual events? I don't know whom he is asking. How can we start organizing events? Do we need your help or we can manage all the contents by our own?
I recommend at least for the first event, we be there for you so as to explain you, enable you, empower you. And going forward, if you think your team is capable enough to handle it, we could transfer rights and you could take it up completely.
Okay, how the booths will be designed? Okay.
That's a 3ds file low poly model, sir.
What software or online platform you recommend? So you have already informed that. Share contact we are doing. Thanks. Thank you once again. Please do share. Okay. What is this? Okay, some people are repeating the questions again. Okay.
So one more question from Tarun Mahajan. How can we ensure a delegate is attending a meeting? Can we track their attendance?
Okay, very, very, very important thing that people are asking these days. Like I mentioned in the presentation also. Earlier, when we had a banquet event and people for 500 capacity, 500 लोग आ गए तो मेरा काम हो गया. But अगर अभी 500 लोग virtually आ गए तो मेरा काम नहीं हुआ. As a little off that, it's difficult to understand that part of it. But having said that, no problem. Again, the virtual event, if it's like a webinar platform, you could trigger content on screen at intermittent times. So I'm not going to a 3D platform right now, talking about a 2D platform, like a webinar platform right now, where you could trigger, say, polls on your screen, say, a pop-up on your screen, which could have an option for you to click and say, okay, I'm here. For example, that way. This could be triggered by the moderator, could be seen only by the attendee. So that would help the organizer gauge on, is the person really there in front of the screen? Because that message could stay for like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Or it could be like, you could capture on what time did he, click on the button. So that's how you could gauge if he's on the screen, alert, awake, looking at content or not. That's also possible.
There is a question from Raju ji. Is there any specific visitor who can attend the stall at same time?
Sorry?
I didn't understand the question. Is there any specific visitor who can attend the stall at same time?
Okay, I think I got your question. You mean to say, will the exhibition be open to all, or will it be for specific email IDs? Sir, if people register, we have their parameters in place. Only then could they attend the session or the exhibition, so to say.
No, my question is like at one single stall, how many person can attend a exhibition at same time? I mean, visitor.
250 people in a room. That room could have 1 stall, 10 stalls, 20 stalls. 250 people in a room. That's the max capacity possible.
How does it matter for the stall space? I mean,
sorry, meaning? Could you repeat that question, please?
You said it's 250 people can attend a single stall, and if it is 9 square meter or 250 square meters, the same number of visitors can be done.
Negative. I said 250 people per room. That room for the environment is the exhibitions area. In the exhibition area, you may choose to have 10 stalls. One stall, depending on size, could accommodate the number of people, and the stall owner could answer it. Okay, hold on. I'll make you a little better then. Mona, just open the room list, please.
Yes, I'll open.
So, Raju, to answer your question, we will show you a scene list. That scene list will have like an exhibition area. That exhibitions area is a part of the scenario wherein people can attend or enter the room. So, Mona, share your screen when you are ready. Can we come back to this until she's ready? Okay, done. Okay, so Raju sir, this is the scene list that is in place. Mona, just scroll to your right. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. So these are few options we have here right now for demo purposes. The exhibitions area, don't click, Mona, don't click. The exhibitions area to the bottom has 256 capacity. If you click on it, that is when you, Mona, click. If you click on it, that is when you enter the room. And when you enter the room is where you see multiple stalls. So this room or scene, as we call it, consider it to be a venue space. Now that venue could accommodate 250 people only, and not based on the size or the scale of the room. Sorry, is my answer clear or?
Yeah, your answer is clear. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What is next? What is the maximum number of guests can attend on one single? You already answered. Very interesting. Thank you, Sukhwinder ji. Pankaj Singh is asking, what is the security parameter for visitor data breaching?
So for the 3D app that we have, it's GDPR compliant. So GDPR compliance is one of the highest norms security and data privacy that they follow. It's a very straightforward answer for that, no problem. And the webinar platform that we have has a AWS server and a firewall 456. So that's your answer to your webinar platform as well, which does not involve any software or any Zoom or any kind of app requirement for presenter or for attendee that way.
Ravinder ji is asking, sir, how can you say virtual event is better as compared to physical? No, I don't think Viral has said that.
I would never say that. It's just the need of the hour. That's the only thing, sir. Physical events cannot be compared to virtual events at any given point in time.
Sir, the next question is from Aniket. Sir, is there any special sort of settings or apps we need to install for setting up this virtual experience?
It depends on what kind of experience you are looking at. For example, if you have browser-based solution that you look at, where you can turn on a microphone or camera, the browser needs to have access to your camera and microphone, which generally is on by default. But in previous times, say you have turned it off, then the settings may not work at a given time. If you look at the app settings that way, then there are a lot of softwares which have different solutions which they need to adhere to. For example, one software will need you to check your sound wizard, turn on microphone, turn off microphone, check speaker within the app itself, which is not the case in a browser solution. So depending on what platform you choose, you can look at an answer on settings. But yes, settings is a criteria and a mandate for every app that you look at. Some are default, some need to be configured.
Hello.
Yes.
I just want to know how Prometheus will help during the
Aminaji, your voice is not clear. Can you just type it in chat room, please? Your voice is not clear. What will be another question is there, Sandeep ji asking, what will be the role of service provider in any virtual exhibition?
So, two roles. One is get the event. Second is help us deliver the event. without you guys, we cannot deliver the event, because you would know what would be the best solution that the client is looking at. We could be a tech enablers for you in terms of providing answer or solutions that are available, but we could collectively together look at a solution that a client could be offered.
Sandeep ji is worried about the role of service provider, in the sense that we have, in a physical event, we have a large number of service providers, right from logistics supports to housekeeping to security. Those will not be there in a virtual exhibition. If I understand
So
it clearly. Yeah.
Everyone needs to little bit evolve for virtual events. And having said that, I don't see real events happening soon, but they will definitely happen in the near future. So until then, people, I think, need to evolve and look at a better option or solution. Like I mentioned in the presentation, you know, it is even based is of software or a technology that's available. It is initiated, it's upscaled, and once it is peak, it declines and it's dead eventually. So each thing has a cycle that we need to look at.
Thank you. Avinash ji's question, he has now put in the question. We are not able to, we're not able to hear him. Can 2 Mbps bandwidth is adequate via online session?
Okay, so sir,
no,
sir, I understand by online session, you mean
Viral, 1 minute. Some interesting things are there. Via online session while doing the live surgery from one hospital and show it to all attendees.
Yes. So I have been a part of events where we have done this, and we have done this. I'm proud to say I have done this 12 years from now. 12 years ago, we have done this where we had an event at NCPA. I was at the console running the show. There was an operation happening somewhere, and the surgery was streamed live onto the NCPA theater, and the doctor were on the panel. If there was a question from the attendee, the doctor used to stop the surgery, he used to answer the question, and that's how we should take it forward. So this was event for Johnson & Johnson that happened for this. For the knee replacement part, I remember very clearly. So yeah, it is possible, point one. Point two, sir, this still remains like a one-way communication. It is streamed onto audiences or attendees. It becomes more like a webcast than a virtual event or a webinar session that you can look at. And streaming in terms of high quality HD bandwidth would need like a 6 to 8 Mbps connection, 1:1, upload and download equally. So that's kind of a thing that we can look at for the streaming end. For the viewing end, 2 Mbps is good enough connection, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Sanyal ji is asking, will this kind of 3D setup be user friendly for visitors and have an easy access to all stalls?
Right. Okay. So I guess today all of you are on WhatsApp and are on Facebook as well. Go back to a little few years ago where you had Orkut as a platform and Facebook was introduced to you guys. You took some time to evolve, learn. Eventually you did come onto Facebook and evolve yourself. Similarly, for a 3D platform, it may seem a little difficult in the start, but to whom all we have done demos, they have adapted, adjusted in the first 15 minutes itself. So 15 minutes is the time that you look at. The interface that you see is a very user-friendly, direct interface right on your face that time. You know, the navigation buttons, gesture buttons are all very clear. So it's very pretty evident that way. No problem.
Okay, we are already 1 hour 35 minutes past. We'll take last question from Ashish ji. What is the relevance of space allocation in size of stalls as rooms have capacity limitations?
That's a very fair and very valid point. The space allocation is only relative to the travel that the person has to do in the room. So in case you have a huge factory and 10 stalls in the beginning of it or at the end of it, the person in the environment has to walk that much in the environment to reach a particular spot. So you could have virtual trainings, you know, in a factory layouts or factory environments. But then space relevance becomes negligible compared to people being there. Since, like I told you, the travel time is the thing. You need to walk up to that particular spot.
Thank you very much. I'll just open it for 5 minutes. anybody who has his question is missed, if he wants to ask the question, he can unmute himself and ask the question. 5 minutes more. And in the meantime, I request all attendees to say if they like the show or if they like the presentation, say yes. We will be very happy to know what is the response. So any questions? Some question is there coming up. There will be numerous impacts on hospitality sector and tourism industry. What do you think?
I guess I'm not qualified to answer that question, sir. But I'll still try and put up some views on that. Vishal, yes, sorry, saying something. Okay. Tourism sector will be impacted. Yes, I completely agree. Revenue could be looked upon in virtual spaces. Again, I'm not saying a 3D model option. We could look at content option that could be created. 360 videos could be looked upon. But again, this part is very negligible compared to what you have otherwise as tourism sectors. For hospitality and hotel industry, like it will be better for sure. That I could say. I don't have an option to that right now.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you for attending today. We are signing off. And I wish you all the best. We will be sharing the, in the chat room, we will be sharing the number and email ID of Viralji, which you can use. So Viral, can you share your ID? And
I have just typed IDs in the chat box.
Okay, great.
Where people could, reach out to Asif and me.
Yes. It is already shared. So anybody who wants, you can pick it up. Thank you very much, everybody. We are signing off.